Hey everyone, it's Anthony, and I've got some amazing news to share with you today. So, you know how much I love the sci-fi and horror series From, right? Well, get ready, because From Season 3 has just been officially renewed. Yes, MGM recently sent me and other critics the announcement, and we are now allowed to talk about it. I posted the news over on themovieblog.com along with the full press release, but yo, season 3 is confirmed, writer's strike and all. I'm excited. Now, if you're not familiar with From, then I need you to stop what you're doing and take the From challenge. I have a video explaining the challenge and how we think that you only need to watch the first 8 minutes of that first episode to be hooked. Otherwise, you can leave it alone. You can find the link to the From Challenge video in the comments below. From is a sci-fi horror series that revolves around a nightmare town that traps anyone who enters. It's created by the brilliant John Griffin and executive produced by showrunner Jeff Pinkner, along with the talented director Jack Bender. And this series has kept us on the edge of our seats from beginning to end, with its mind-bending mysteries and terrifying secrets. And let's not forget about the incredible cast that brings this nightmarish world to life. We've got Harold Perrineau, who you might remember from Lost, leading the pack. Alongside him are Catalina Sandino Moreno, Ian Bailey, Scott McCord, Ricky He, Avery Conrad, and many, many more that make up this talented ensemble that has kept us hooked from day one. Now, here's the real exciting part. Season 2 ended with an epic cliffhanger. I can't wait to see how everything is going to unfold. We even have a quote from the creators about the show, and they share the following. The first 2 seasons of From captivated critics and terrified and engaged fans who have formed a thriving online community that is trying to put together pieces week by week as the secrets of the nightmarish town and possibly beyond are slowly revealed. We can't wait for fans to see the surprises ahead in Season 3, which promises more scares and mysteries, but also more answers. Yeah, that part. We're so grateful for the support of our fans in FROMily this season. We have a lot more story to tell and shocking, weird roads to take you on with plenty of answers along the way. Yo, that's what I needed to hear. Answers. I need answers. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. The wait won't be long because From Season 3 is set to return in 2024. Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a wait, but trust me, it sounds like it's going to be worth it. More scares, more mysteries, and definitely more answers. I can't wait to dive back into this nightmarish world and dissect every clue with you all. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because I'll be covering all the updates, behind the scenes insights, and maybe even some exclusive interviews with the cast. We're going to explore the depths of this twisted town together. Speaking of interviews, you know what? Let's take a minute and let's talk with Scott McCord, who plays Victor. Scott, thank you so much for your time. Listen, I know you're very busy. I'll be as brief as possible, so I'm just going to dive right in. My first question. Why is this show called From?
Why is the show called From? I wish I had an answer. I don't have an answer to that. There's so many theories out there, and I generally tend to, I don't really theorize because I don't think Victor does.
What do you think is the biggest similarity between you and your character, Victor?
What was the biggest similarity? I don't know, maybe that we can sometimes both act like petulant children. I don't know. I think that Victor is, I'm doing all this work to try and step into this wonderful, wondrous character, this enigma, and yet, it's just still so full of me. I think, we're very close in a number of ways.
My next question is, how did you prepare for this role? And what research did you do to fully understand your character's perspective?
Well, I was just given the blessing of the character of Victor at the beginning of this whole journey, and I wasn't given a lot in terms of character description. I was given uh, the seed of his trauma, which we saw in episode 1, which was that he was left alone in FROMville and had survived there many years by himself. And so I had to fill in a lot of blanks on my own. And John Griffin will always give us, any of us in the cast, as much as we need to know for that particular episode or that particular moment. But with Victor, he is, as described by John, an unreliable narrator to himself. So I was able to kind of go and detail a past for myself instead of my own imagination and what John gave me, and sort of did that. It's just the way that I like to work. I love details, and had the seed of his trauma, of course. And then I spent weeks before I started shooting just sort of playing around with everything, with my coach. To see, and as organically as possible, what kind of person I could would come out of this work that we were doing, based on, let's say, just the seed of this trauma, and Victor's voice, his music, that was always kind of there from the beginning when I had auditioned originally for the part. So we had that to start with as well. And then each new episode, of course, gives me, all this. There's always something new, Even in this past season, the violin, the reveal of Eloise, that I had a sister, and just all these golden eggs, this information that just helps me, just add to this giant canvas that is Victor. But because we're not given any particular parameters to the character, it's just an ongoing exploration, and a pretty fascinating one.
How did you prepare for the emotional scenes, like when Victor shows Tabitha Eloise's drawings?
Yeah, that was I didn't know about that event, and I didn't know that about Victor until the script arrived in my hand. And I sat down and I read that maybe just a couple of weeks before we shot it, a few weeks before we shot it. So I had that time leading up to, to really delve into what that kind of pain would be. I did a little bit of research in terms of that kind of trauma and loss and whatever else. And then I also just, with imagination and concentration, and I just allowed myself to go in and explore what that would be for Victor, just create something for myself. It's not to say that I wasn't scared about shooting it on the day. It can be certainly scary in our minds to go to those places, but we have such a beautiful gang of people in Little Land of Love there, and I'm with Catalina, and Brad Turner was directing that episode, and it was a very safe environment to come in and just allow myself to go as far as I possibly could, and that's how that arrived.
How has this role changed you as an actor, as a person, if at all?
That's an amazing question. Each role does that in some way, each role, and I think if you really commit and push yourself to go further, you'll guarantee you'll have a creatively heightened experience, and maybe learn something about yourself. I mean, that's the beauty, I think, of acting. And as fascinating as it is as a study of human life in whatever circumstances that are within the context of the play or the film, the TV show that you're doing. In the case of Victor, oh man, I would just say it's just given me this this canvas where I feel like where there really are no parameters. And in terms of Victor, and as an enigma and the trauma that he's been through, I really feel like I can go in so many directions in so many places. And it's exciting and it's terrifying sometimes, but very gratifying. In the support system that we have with the creative team and the cast, the crew, where I can go in and just have the ability to explore all of that, and push myself further as an actor. And John Griffin and Jeff Pinkner, as they come up with these stories, these arcs, and keep dropping these bombs on me all the time, it always pushes me further. And I just appreciate that. I love the challenge, and I always end up having a creatively exciting experience.
Can you share any insight into the creative or the collaborative process? Any discussions you may have had with the show's writers and directors regarding Victor's storyline?
Well, what usually happens is that the script drops, and then there's like 1,000 questions, of course, and all of us always want to know more, or we always want to know what's coming. But they're so great about talking about it, and so transparent about everything involving the show. And so, John will meet with any cast members and sit there. He wants to know everything also too, the work that we're doing on our end. He wants to know about everything from what music we're listening to what theories we may have, to any ideas that we have. He's crafting. It starts to happen naturally with writers and actors too, right? Things start to happen, and you're sort of you get your impression from what they're giving you, but they're also, they may hear you do something or see you do something that then, kind of leads them down another path and gives them an idea for something. So that collaboration is not only key, it's vital, I think, to the show, to the entity, and that's what's happening, and it's really exciting. And John is an incredibly brilliant and generous creator and writer, who makes you feel like you're part of that ride.
Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I know you're very busy. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to talk to you about season 3. I know I had to give that one. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you're new here, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on those notifications, because we're going to be doing this from now until season 3. Otherwise, I'm going to have to check you guys later. Peace.